There's a phrase that shows up everywhere: self-help books, motivational channels, LinkedIn posts. Fake it till you make it. Some people take it literally. Rent a sports car. Buy the expensive suit. Post a photo with a first-class coffee and wait for reality to catch up. Others think it's just advice for con artists. So most people either misuse it or dismiss it entirely, which is a shame, because buried inside that phrase is one of the most practical ideas in human psychology. In this video, I want to break down how it actually works. No mysticism, no fluff. We'll go from the biochemistry of the brain all the way to a specific practice you can start using today. Each step builds on the last, so it's worth staying till the end. What "fake it till you make it" actually means. The most common mistake people make with this idea is trying to copy someone else's image, to wear another person's mask. But here's the problem. The universe works like a perfectly impartial mirror, and you can't fool it with surface-level props. It doesn't register brands or borrowed aesthetics. It only ever reflects your actual internal state. No exceptions. Fake it till you make it was never about deceiving the world. It's more like a declaration, a statement of who you are. When you choose to step into the role you want, you're not remaking yourself into someone else's mold. You're giving your higher self, the version that's been there all along, just dormant, permission to finally show up. Neil Donald Walsh put it well in Conversations with God. Life is not a process of discovery. It's a process of creation. You don't live each day to discover what it holds for you. You create it. When you embody your future state, you're not lying to yourself. You're consciously assembling a new version of who you are. But here's where it gets hard, and where most people quit. The moment you commit to a new role, reality immediately tests whether you mean it. How do the people who actually succeed manage to pass that test without snapping back? It comes down to one core principle. The secret of those who actually pull it off. The principle is almost frustratingly simple. Keep choosing the same thing. Most people know this scenario. You make a solid, intentional decision to become more confident, to start trusting the world more. And then, the very next day, you get hit with an unexpected bill, a conflict at work, or just a string of bad luck. And the mind says, "See, this stuff doesn't work." But that's just inertia. The mirror takes time to recalibrate to your new signal. And this is exactly where most people fall apart. They lose patience, drop the inner game, and drift back to old patterns. The mirror obediently reflects their doubt and resets everything back to zero. It's like planting seeds in your garden and then digging them up every 30 minutes to check if anything grew. All that anxious pulling and checking kills the process. The size of your expectations directly determines the size of your eventual disappointment. The actual skill, the one that separates the people who transform from those who just try, is the ability to hold your state even when the outside world hasn't changed yet. As it says again in Conversations with God, the moment you make a choice, you set the entire universe in motion. It just needs time to confirm you're serious. Instead of fighting that gap with tension, let yourself simply be in the new state. Loosen the grip. I get it. A philosophical idea isn't always enough. The rational mind wants evidence. So let's go there. Let's talk about the chemistry, the science behind it. Our logical minds need something to hold on to. The moment someone mentions the universe as a mirror, half the room mentally checks out and files it under mysticism. Fair enough. Let's look at this through a scientific lens. Psychologist Alfred Adler had a simple principle. If you want to develop a quality, act as if you already have it. That might sound like a motivational cliche, so researchers at Wake Forest University decided to actually test it. They asked a group of introverts to spend 15 minutes behaving like extroverts. The result? Their internal state genuinely shifted. The more convincingly they played the role, the better they physically felt. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman spent decades mapping these kinds of cognitive loops. And the underlying idea fits what Walsh wrote. Your brain is not the source of your mind. It's simply the processor. The brain is a mechanism. Whatever behavioral input you feed it, that's the neurochemical output you get back. And yet, plenty of people sit there with a frown, methodically loading up their mental processor with scripts like, "Nothing ever works out," or "I'll never have enough money." Then wonder why they're flooded with cortisol and why every week seems to bring new financial stress. Science confirms it. Behavior and biology genuinely recalibrate each other. And you don't need to do anything dramatic to start the shift. The most direct entry point into that system is already in you. It's your physical body. Your body is the shortcut. We tend to assume that real change only comes through deep psychological work, analyzing beliefs, identifying patterns, unpacking the past. But there's a much faster way in, and it runs straight through the body. Here's the thing, the body never lies. Try to feel the inner strength and calm of someone who's fully in command of their life. While every muscle in your body is tight, your shoulders are locked up near your ears, and your spine is curved like you're bracing for impact. It won't happen. Your body is your unconscious mind sending a signal. I don't trust this. I'm not safe. If your physiology is broadcasting fear, your brain will reject every visualization you throw at it. In one of my videos, I mentioned a principle I keep coming back to. The only way to be effective is to be relaxed. The moment you straighten your spine, slow your breath, and let your shoulders drop, your nervous system gets the message that things are okay, that you're not under threat. In practice, a lot of people try to mentally attract success, while hunched over a laptop screen like they're expecting a punch. The world might be ready to deliver, but it's looking at someone who's closed off, not open to receiving. So relaxing the body is the foundation. But once you're there, a question comes up. What exactly are you supposed to embody? If you've never actually felt like a confident leader or a high-achieving person, where do you borrow that template from? The answer is closer than you think. It's in the people around you. Working with words and state. We've established that your physical state shapes your brain chemistry, but there's still a gap. How do you project the inner confidence of a successful person when you've never actually felt that way? What role do you play if you don't know the lines yet? Here's the key. If you can recognize unshakable confidence or inner strength in someone else, that means your internal scanner already knows that frequency. All you have to do is take that projection, like a ready-made template, and try it on. Carl Jung explained this with remarkable clarity. He said we can only recognize in others the qualities that already exist within us, light or shadow. Everything you genuinely admire in another person is your own dormant potential looking back at you. So how do you actually make the transfer? That's where the power of intentional language comes in. Find your archetype. Choose a real person or a fictional character whose way of being resonates with you. If you're drawn to how John Galt shows up in Atlas Shrugged, ask yourself, what exactly is it that I admire about him? Let's say it's his unshakable sense of certainty and resolve. Now take those qualities and make them personal. Start saying this to yourself, out loud, every day. I am a confident and decisive person, and I fully accept that. At first, the logical mind pushes back. That's normal. But consistent verbal practice rewires old neural pathways and gradually builds a new self-perception. Words are architecture, and yet, the material world has strict rules. Whatever energy you build internally, whatever you say out loud, it evaporates quickly if it never gets a concrete direction. The mirror loves your new role. But until your words are backed by something physical, it's all just a rehearsal in an empty theater. The final step, action in the physical world. Let's come back to where we started. The universe works like a mirror, an honest one, and it can tell the difference between someone who's thinking about change and someone who's actually living it. The difference isn't in the affirmations. It's not in the posture. The difference is that one of them actually did something. Every real shift in life runs through the same sequence: trigger, thought, action. You see something that lights you up. That spark becomes a thought. The thought needs somewhere to go. Everything else, the relaxed body, the affirmations, the right internal state, that's all fuel. But without the final step, fuel just burns off into nothing. Action is your loudest statement to yourself and to the world. Not what you think, not what you say, what you do. Fake it till you make it isn't about performance or deception. It's about deciding who you are and starting to move from that place. Today, even if everything around you still looks the same, the mirror will notice.